Hey, yo, what's good? This is Manuel Godoy, and we got another special meeting, man. We're doing a meeting because we're about 1 week out. All right. We're 1 week out from doing this next investment round. And in all honesty, I'm pretty excited. There's way too many people pre signed for this investment round, man. It's about to be ugly, it's about to be vicious. So, what I'm doing today is I'm going to be updating you guys on what exactly is about to happen, right? What expectations, right, for the first day of the investment round for the private opening, and how long we're going to keep it private before we open it up to the rest of the world, like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, right? We're not opening it up until, there's going to be a variable amount. Know I said May 7th at first, but that might change depending on what's going to be happening. So let's go ahead and let's handle that right now. This is Manuel Godoy from Black Sands. If it's the first time you ever seen, and let's get it. All right. So first things first. All right. When is the investment round going to actually open? I think that's probably the most important part, right? So when it comes to the investment round, what you got to understand is that we're going to basically be uh, having the investment round either on Friday or something like Monday, right? It might even be at the end of next week. I don't know, right? Uh, paperwork, right? My audit's done, right? The paperwork for the investment round is done, but now we got to file it with the SEC, right? And the SEC got to do their checks and balances, approve everything, and then they're going to send it back to us and say you're free to go, start your round, right? But that takes time. That takes a little time. So because that's going to take a little time, I can't exactly say when, right? It's going to happen, exactly what day. But when I get the approval, I'll have at least 48 hours, right? To let you know. Like, I'm not going to launch the second they say, now you can launch. I'm going to give like 48 hours. I'm going to say, all right, hard opening. We're opening at this time on this day. All right. So I hope you've been saving money, right? Because it's going down. It's going to move very quickly. I know a lot of people want these bad boys right here, right? The investor card, right? Everybody wants this bad boy right here, the metal investment cards. So as I said before, there was originally 3 tiers, right? The $500 tier, the $1,000 tier, and the $2,500 tier. Well, we're not going to be doing. We're going to add an additional tier to that. All right, because I've seen a lot of crazy stuff going on the internet recently, and because of that, honestly, I just don't trust anybody who's not a verified investor in the Black Sands community. I just don't believe them. I don't trust them. So any opportunities we have in the future, you're going to have one of these cards or stock paperwork for to ever apply. Period. And because of that, we're adding an additional card. Additional card is going to be the red card. It's going to be with Nuit on it, and it's going to be for anybody who just invests. $100 doesn't matter. If you came in, you're at least going to get a red card, right? So you got the red, bronze, silver, gold. All right. Everybody who ever invested in Black Sands will receive a card. That includes the previous rounds. So if you invested back in, 2020, like 2020, what was it? 2020? Yeah, right. The beginning of 2020, then you're also going to get a card. All right. And you're going to qualify based on wherever you were then. So if you invested $2,500 in the first round, then you still will get a gold card. All right. So don't worry about that. I know a lot of people saying that's nice. Yeah, for real, man. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope that these cards are going to basically like, they're going to be amazing, right? And it's like a fraternity type thing, right? Or a sorority. We're family now. If you're an investor in Black Sands, you're family. You're going to get all the job opportunities. You're going to get all the chances to build your career. You're going to get the funding. If you're one of the best ones out here, if you're one of the best writers in our community, you're going to get funding. You're going to be able to do books under our label. Not a problem. We always gave opportunities to our closest people, like our patrons, right? We always gave that opportunity. Patrons wrote so many books for us already, right? And best believe it's going to be like that in the future, but this time with this black card right here. You better have your black card. Be honest with you. And I just love the fact that we've done this. I love the fact that we built this coalition, this strong coalition that really can't be broken. It really can't. We've done the work. We've got these books in schools. We have parents and teachers that absolutely love this stuff. We got grandparents who live and die by the brand. They say, my grandkids, all of them, all 16 grandkids, got to have a copy of Black Sands. That's how they are. That's how it's always been. It's a family company. It's a family orientation. And this time around, the family's going to have a card. It's going to be amazing. And this is metal too. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. This is straight metal. So this ain't gonna bend or anything like that. You ain't bending this bad boy. It's basically a slab of metal. It's beautiful, and that's what we're gonna be expecting. So if you want one of these, here's the reality. If you're a previous investor, right? When can I get this card? That's the topic. When can I get this card? If you're a previous investor, in the middle of April, sometime in the middle of April, we're gonna allow you to sign up, right? Because we're going to send you an email directly telling you qualify for this card, right? And you're going to be able to say, all right, I want that. You're going to pay shipping. So you're going to pay like $4 for shipping or whatever, right? We're going to send you the card and you should get it before the beginning of May. So it should be pretty quick. Once we get the inventory in hand, we should be able to deliver to you within 7 days of when you ordered it, right? And all you guys will be able to basically tell the world that you have one of your investor cards right at the beginning of May, which is going to be amazing for our viral content, right? Everybody likes to see happy investors with something that they can tangibly hold in their hands. So you're going to have that. Obviously, you're also going to have stock, right? You own stock in the company. And for everybody else, the new investors coming in this first time they ever invested in Black Sands, you guys are going to get it at the end of the investment round, roughly about a month after the end of the investment round, because prior to the end of the investment round, you can cancel, right? So there's no guarantee that the people who did sign up will be the last people in the list. So we have to wait until everything clears. We have to wait until all the funding is collected. And then we can look at the list and say, this is the final list. So they're going to get it much later on, probably sometime in June or July. They're going to get it, right? But definitely not anytime soon. All right. So the new investors won't get this card for a while. The old investors will get it probably at the beginning of May. All right. Additionally, the red cards haven't been made yet. It's something I just added, right? So I just added the red card. So since I just added the red card, it won't be available for the previous investors right away. And I have to do a lot of them. I think I'm going to have to print like 20,000 of them. All right. Because we already have close to, I'd say, 5,000 to 6,000 investors already, right? And we're raising $2 million. So I'm sure I'm going to have at least 10,000 to 15,000 new investors in the company, right? So obviously, I'm going to need a hell of a lot of cards, right? If I have that many investors, I'm going to need a lot of cards. So, I think we're going to print like close to like 20,000 of them. Right? I'm not sure, but we got to have extras as well in case people lose them. You don't want to lose your card now because this is basically your opportunity to work in Black Sands. You don't want to lose your opportunity to work in Black Sands. By the way, if you haven't looked at the backside, that's what the backside looks like. All right. It got the gleam too. Look at that. It got the gleam. I love these cards. This is like the coolest thing I ever had. This is the coolest thing I ever made. And it's so simple. It's not even like, it's not complicated, but it's freaking cool. So I've been flexing this thing forever, man. It's kind of dope, Now, what to expect on day one? What to expect on launch? What happens on launch? So first of all, we're going to be on YouTube again, guaranteed. We're going to be on YouTube, and we're going to do a live watch party. So everybody's going to be on live. We're all going to be watching together. Even though you're going to be investing at the same time, we're all going to be watching the line go up because that's literally the best feeling in the world. Watching the line go up. All right. It's literally the best feeling in the world when you see the line going up in real time. What I expect to happen, right? This is an expectation. This is exactly in where I expect this to be. Based on the pre-signs, so the pre-registrations for the investment round, based on the engagement that we had on our investment round, emails, and also the amount of new patrons that I have gained who want to be the first investors, right? I expect at minimum to have a $300,000 first day. That's what I expect. I expect on day one to have a $300,000 day. That's what I expect. If we do that, that is exactly within the range of expectations. It's exactly what I had predicted. Nothing's unusual about that. So we'll still have a May 7th launch day for the public, right? Because people will trickle in, people will invest, but for the most part, right, that's the momentum. That's basically where we're going to be. We're not going to get anywhere near 2 million before May 7th. So we're good, right? We're not going to rush anything. However, this is very important. And it also shows growth too, because our best day was 180,000. In our last investment round, we did 180,000 in one day, right? And that was the best one we ever did. So hitting 300,000 is very good growth as far as like momentum is concerned. However, this is very important, okay? If we go over $500,000 on the first day, and it's possible, it's very possible. But if we go over $500,000 on the first day, there's a feeding frenzy going on. There is a panic going on. There will be so many people going in and panic investing because of how fast this investment round is moving that I am going to have to give you guys a warning. And the warning is very simple. If there is panic buying, if the investment round is closing so dang quickly, over 25% of the investment round is gone in the first day, right? We can really sweep the entire investment round in 2 weeks if we keep the momentum on. And what that means is that I'm going to give all of my investors, all of my customers, all of my fans 2 days. 2 days to get their investment in at that point, because it's about to be all hell breaking loose on the internet. And then I'm going to open the round for the public. They're going to be taunted. They're going to be teased for 2 straight days. And we might be able to clear this investment round of $2 million in 2 weeks if the frenzy is in. I don't know if the frenzy is in. We'll see on the first day. But if we hit 500,000, there's a frenzy. There's something going on. And the reason for this is very simple. If any of y'all been paying attention, there's kind of a political movement out there to try and stop Black Sands, right? There's a political movement. It's all political. It's all ideology, right? And I don't want to give them the time of day. I don't want to give them the chance to mess up our momentum, right? So if we're having a feeding frenzy and we're moving so fast and so energetic and we're so proud, we're not going to let anybody mess up our momentum. You know what I mean? We're not going to give them a chance. We're just going to close it out. Before they could ever write one hate attack or speech or anything, we're gone. We're gone and we're making millions. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make our show. We're going to get our dang video game out there. We're going to hire a crap load of people from our community in order to make big plays. And we're out. We're not waiting for nobody. So if we have a feeding frenzy on day one, we're getting aggressive. We're getting very aggressive. Do you understand? And that's what we're going to be doing. All right. So it's very important that you get your investment in on the first day, because like I said, you might blink and it's over. You might literally be like, oh, I'm about to invest in a week or two, and it's over. It's over. You don't get a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, anybody paying attention online right now about what's going on with this political movement against Black Sands, we don't want to give them the opportunity to do anything if we got momentum. We want to end it quick, right? We want to end it quick. We want to get up 4 touchdowns and take a freaking knee. 4 touchdowns and take a knee. We're not running. We're not doing anything else. We're going to freaking run the ball. We ain't throwing no more passes. We ain't trying to make no big plays. We're going to run the clock down and walk off the field champions, period. Right? And that's why I'm saying if we get momentum early, we're out. We're not going to wait. And that means you got to go fast. You got to be one of the first. You have to get in there quickly if you see us past 500K. If you were planning on waiting, watch the campaign. But if you see that thing go anywhere near 500K on the first day, you know what's up. You now have your warning. It will open up. Don't blame me if you miss the emails, right? Don't blame me if you miss the emails. If it gets past 500K on the first day, it's a bloodbath, and you better get in there within 2 days. Otherwise, you might miss the train, because when that opens up, I got no guarantees. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. I have to give y'all this warning now. This is why I said this meeting was mandatory. That's what I said. This meeting is mandatory because it's going to move very quickly if the stars align somehow. If the stars align and we somehow do 500K on one day, I am not waiting for anything. I'm giving you 2 full days, and then it's off to the races. It's off to the races. Now that I'm done with all this, I am going to start questions. Feel free to leave questions in the comment section, and I am going to pull up the questions and address them, each individual one, starting right now. By the way, thank you guys so much for even being here. Thank you guys for supporting me and being part of the Black Sands family for years. This ain't new. We've been doing this for 6 straight years, right? So I'm just happy that you guys are here. I'm happy that you guys stuck with me through the thick and thin. And now that we're actually changing the world, now that we're actually like affecting these kids' lives and stuff like that, it's just a great feeling to know that our work matters. You know what I mean? Our work matters. These kids, they actually get empowering content, and they don't have to worry about all the shame and misery of their past, right? They can actually get positive imagery from their history. So that's what's up. I appreciate you guys. Let's get to work. Okay, let's go. First question. Oh, I missed a whole bunch already. Y'all went too quick. All right, let's see. I think I'm right here. Okay. What are the days we should be ready? Monday through Friday. Expect the investment round to begin. But like I said, I'm going to send you guys emails. If you're not on the email list at all, if you don't get any of our emails, that's a problem. So go ahead and look up M. Godoy at Black Sands Entertainment and make sure you're on the email. Because I mean, you might be getting them, but they're in spam or something like that, or promotions tab. Make it go to your inbox. You don't want to miss these emails when they open up, all right? I'm going to give you a literal 2-day heads up. So I'm not going to just instantly launch the campaign. When I get clearance, when it's clear, I'm going to give you a 2-day heads up. And not only am I going to give you a 2-day heads up, I'm going to give you a campaign preview. So you can go to the investment round, actually look at things and do your research, right? And then once I launch the campaign, you can actually invest. They're going to say you can reserve, don't reserve, all right? Reserving is basically like saying, I promise I'll be an investor. That doesn't count. Trust me, reserving doesn't count at all. And a lot of people lost their investments in 2021 because they reserved. They reserved and then never actually paid. But they thought they did because, Kickstarter works that way. You get charged at the end of the campaign. This is investing. You're buying stock, and you're purchasing stock at the time of pledge. So there is no you pay at the end stuff. They're like, cut the check right now. You understand? So it's best to wait for the launch instead of doing a reserve, because a lot of people miss that reserve email about the round just started. Make your investment real. And then you forget it, or you think you already invested, and boom, you lost everything. Don't be that guy. Let's see. Kevin Brown said, how do we lose the Investor Summit location? The same way, the way I was talking about. Didn't I just say, Kevin, that, I don't want to give nobody time to try and sabotage us, right? So if we have momentum, like, there's no reason to rush if we're doing exactly as expected. Like we're not going to get to 2 million, right, anytime soon. We're going to have to need the public. We're going to have to fight the good fight, and maybe it'll take like a month to do it, right? It'll take like a month and a half, right? So it'll be a regular campaign. That's good campaign. It's a good show. A month and a half is great, right? But it's going to be realistic, and it's going to take a while no matter what. If we go past 500K on the first day, then we have a chance to close it out quickly before anybody can cause some drama about us. You know what I mean? And in that situation, we don't have to worry about things like what happened at the Schomburg, right? Where we lose the venue or whatever. We don't have to worry about their bull crap, right? It's all political. It's 100% political what's going on. And, they're mad at me for basically backing Black families. They're super mad about that. They don't want family values in books, literally, quote unquote. We know what he means by family values. I know most of y'all are parents or teachers or educators or librarians. I know this already. I know 60% of my investors are parents. So I know how annoying that is for someone to say, I don't want you pushing only family values. That's like weird to us. You know what I mean? So I don't want them starting drama. If we have momentum, we're out. We're out. Let's see. How do we invest? So I'm going to give you the link to wefunder.com, the actual link to the campaign when the campaign's ready to launch. Okay. I'm also going to give you a preview link so you can go and check it out before the round. So you can go and pull the deck. You can pull the deck. You can look at the financials. You can do all the scrutiny, right? 48 hours before you actually have to invest, right? So that way you have time to do your research, right? I've always been the most transparent person in this game by far. I'm going to have 4 years of audited financials available for you guys to go and scrutinize as much as y'all want. Okay? 4 years of GAAP audited financials. So all the rumors about scamming, I got literally audited twice, 4 years straight. He said, that's how you do things. That's how you prove the haters wrong. Haters are going to come up with a million stories. The most recent one was I have 2 or 3 houses. I got a house in Dubai, right? I got 2 houses in America. I'm spending all the investor money on houses. That's big on TikTok. I have all these houses, right? So so all I'm saying is we're going to ignore them. We're going to dominate and we're going to scale and get out of there as quickly as possible so we can go on and expand and tell these kids that their history was freaking amazing. That's what we're going to focus on. That's what we're going to focus on. So that's what's up. Tony says, can we build up to 2,500? Kinda, but think about it this way. If you put 500 in and then you put 500 in, you don't have 2 individual $500 investments. Your now investment is $1,000. You understand? Additionally, if you decide to cancel, then your investment is $0. Every transaction will affect the total amount that you're doing. So it's going to go up, it's going to go down, but it's never going to be side by side. All right. So, and if the investment round closes before you get to 2,500, well, then you're out of luck. Right. So there we go. Let me see what else. Will there be any more t-shirts made down the line? In all honesty, I'm just going to let that be licensed. If there's a licensing opportunity, I'll do that, right? I'll let somebody else make the shirts, like somebody who sells a lot of shirts, and let them use my designs. But I'm not going to do it. Not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never had success with shirts. I probably sell like 40 books to every one shirt. So, no, I'm not doing shirts anymore. But I can design them, and then somebody else can sell them. Let's see. This is just a statement. You know you're making moves when they rally politically against you. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Let's see. What's the milestones ETA for the rest of the year to ensure investors' money can possibly make a return? First of all, returns are going to be 5 years from now. I'm being honest with you. Until we go public or until we are acquired, there's not much opportunities to get a return, right? Because you got to sell your shares. You own shares in the company, right? But with that being said, most likely, if we get that anime out and the anime actually hits like a network like Amazon, Netflix, whatever, right? If our show hits, I'm going public. Straight up. Why not, right? Ride the wave. Show's dope. People love it. Huge expectations of the future of Black Sands. Licensing plays are going all over the place. Video games, because the show is out, go public. And then everybody could sell their shares, right? But yeah, that's how it works. That's how we're going to be doing it. But like I said, it could be 5 years from now. You know what I mean? The main thing is that we're moving forward. As far as the milestones and what we expect to do, we're immediately going to be hiring a lot of people for educational sales. Educational sales is going to be one of the cornerstones of what we're doing. We're also going to be in full development for video game production, and we're going to come back to you guys as well if you want to be owners in the video game, right? It's a special project. We're going to do profit sharing with our fans, or Xbox, one or the other, right? Profit sharing with our fans or Xbox. Both will benefit the entire company. Right, both ways will benefit the entire company, and see a massive increase in our valuation. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, we're gonna do the YouTube thing. That's more of a fan project, so we're gonna do a massive YouTube series. So we're gonna finish the series. all 17 episodes, the first season. We're going to put it on YouTube so that basically people can, experience Black Sands without having to actually read it for the younger kids, right? For the younger audience. They don't like reading as much, so they can watch it. They can watch the entire series. A lot of voice acting is going to happen there. A lot of opportunities to go and actually like build your resume. It's going to be a pretty cool thing. And that's basically the immediate plans for this year. Educational sales is absolutely the hallmark of almost everything. We're going to spend very rapidly at least $500,000 on building our infrastructure for educational sales and curriculum. And then and the rest of it's going to be divvied out by a whole bunch of other categories. And you're going to be able to look at this on the Wefunder campaign. It's going to break down. There's a breakdown of how we're planning on using the funds. All right. So it's there. It's going to say how much percentages to this, to that, to whatever. Right. So you can go and check it out yourself. Let's see. To prevent from being dropped from investing, what is the minimum? $100. $100 is the minimum. You'll get a red card too. So don't worry about not getting a card. I didn't design the red card yet, but now that you know what's going on in the culture right now, we're 100% going to have red cards so I can identify you quickly. I can say, my man, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when we're one of the biggest brands in the world, right? And you're going to be like, yo, bro, check out my idea. Or, hey, do you have any like opportunities or scholarships? All I'm going to say is this. You got one of these? He said, yeah, but I wasn't that rich then, so I only had like $100. So I put that in. I only got a red card. And I'm be like, great. You get every opportunity that we have available. Period. Red, gold, silver, bronze, it don't freaking matter. So long as you're a card-carrying investor, you made the right damn choice. And your family counts too. Your family counts too. So I ain't going to hold nothing against generations, right? The spouse, the kids, all of them count. The grandparents, I don't care. Somebody better have a card. Somebody in the family. And I'm going to get you. I got you. All right? So make sure you get that. Let's see. What happens to the investment made through Wefunder? Are they being accounted for? Yeah, you got a contract. So Wefunder tracks it. So most investments that are happening on Wefunder is through a SVB, right? So the SVB is basically like a package that Wefunder manages, and there's like one person who's the lead investor for that package, right? But for the most part, they're managing like everybody's shares, and you'll also get a contract too, saying how many shares you bought. Right? How many shares you bought, how many shares you were issued, what was the valuation, what was the price of the stock, all that stuff. You're going to get that in a contract as well that you could download, and it's always going to be there on Wefunder, no matter what. It's always going to be there. Everybody can go there now if you were a previous investor and look and pull your contract. Okay? So that's going to be there. It's all accounted for. It's all through the government. So they will ask you for your social. Be careful, all right? A lot of y'all think, oh, it's scamming. It ain't scamming. That's the government asking for your stuff. This is a real investment. This ain't a donation. I know a lot of people like to say that on TikTok. They donated to him. They ain't donate nothing. They bought my company, a piece of my company, all right? So they're going to ask you for your social security number or your EIN for your business, and you will have to give it to them. Otherwise, you won't be able to invest, period, because this is legal. It's all legal documentation. Ain't going to be no Cash App. You know what I mean? So just be prepared for that. Don't think that it's fishy. Wefunder is one of the top 3 Regulation CF, Regulation A+ platforms in the world, period. Let's see. See, next question. What's the best amount of money to give to I already answered that one. Like I said, $100 doesn't even matter. In May, no, next week we're doing investments. Real talk, next week. It's going down. Let's see. Okay, so what's the name says that he's moving out of the country. In all honesty, ship it to the other place. If you're a military person, so I already know they're a military person. They say PCS, and I was stationed in Germany, right? Send it to the base. Send it to the base. That's the best way. All right. It's not that long either. It's a letter. It's cheap, And if you have a military address, it costs exactly the same amount of money. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing costs more when you're sending stuff to a military base. It all costs the same as if you were shipping it to New York. So, I would wait. Don't try to rush it and then miss it. I'd rather you just wait it till you got stationed in your new location, and then order your card. Okay. And remember, all you got to do is pay for shipping. And that's it. Will the notification also come through Patreon? It better. All these people signing up for Patreon. Imagine if I forgot to tell patrons that the investment round opened. I think that would be the scandal of the century. I think that's the scandal, right? If I didn't tell the patrons that the investment round is opening, that would be the scandal. But no, we are going to let you guys know 100%. Like I said, you're going to have a preview of the investment round, which will be the link 2 days before it actually opens. So you're going to have everything, but save that page, keep it open on your browser, right? Because that's going to be the website. That's going to be the website. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, man? So Chris say he's putting 2.5K. That means he's gonna get this gold card right here. I like that right there. Hey, just remember this. This is Clout. This is Clout. It doesn't give you extra benefits. All right. So don't kill yourself to get a gold card. All right. If you can only part ways with $1,000 safely, if you're comfortable parting ways with $1,000 and never getting it back, then just only do $1,000. All right. Because you're not getting this money back for a long time. It's a long-term investment. It's early stage. We're like in our seed round. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of stages to making a company into a huge company. And the seed round is very early in the game, which means you're also going to get the biggest return if we succeed. Right. But it's a very long-term investment. So make sure that if you're investing, please remember that whatever you're putting in, you're not going to be able to touch for a very long time. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. Let's see. What's up, Perry? All right, Perry on freaking LinkedIn, man. I like LinkedIn. I like LinkedIn a lot. You guys need to follow me on LinkedIn for real. I like business talk. I like meeting people and seeing their resume the first time they say something to me. I like that. I like that, man. Because there's too many kids around nowadays. You know, there's too many kids around trolling and stuff. I like when I could see who the heck someone is from a distance, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, what's up, man? How you doing? I know exactly what you're doing. I know where you've been. I know your experience. I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn's lit for me. So add me on LinkedIn. Let's see. Okay, here's a good question. Nazarene says, peace, love, and thanks. I invested over 1K in 2020. I missed the tier breakdown earlier. Please reiterate it. All right. You would be qualified for the MSME silver tier. So a silver card like this, right, with MSME instead of raw. And it would say silver on it, silver tier. That's the card that you'll be able to get. You should be able to get it in the beginning of May. All right. We're going to send an email to you guys. Please check your emails. If you're not getting any emails from me, then you need to go and make sure that you are getting emails from me. Right. He said, but I'll also be putting the links up on Wefunder directly. So just check the updates. You're already investors. You should be able to see it. Right. And we'll go from there. Okay. Let's see. Do we are also ready for a tsunami? A tsunami of artificial intelligence? Ain't nobody care about artificial intelligence. It ain't gonna affect us. I promise that. Let's see. I got this guy right here say I'm a dad and I support Black Sands. What dad wouldn't? Real talk. Who doesn't want this kind of content for the kids? How can I pitch my manga to you? If we ever open up solicitations from the community, right? That's when, right? It's not often that we just take ideas from the community. We usually have ideas and then we have competitions, and then people have to basically win the competition, prove that they're the best person to write that idea, and then they're fully funded and they're now published offer under Black Sands. That's normally how we do it, mostly because we're so niche. Like our company focuses on history before slavery. That's like our thing, right? So because history before slavery is our thing, then, random pitches is very hard to deal with. We just can't deal with it. Somebody have a superhero, somebody have a futuristic story, and it don't fit the brand. Somebody have adults, right? Adult content, and it don't fit the brand because we do middle school. So it's very important that when people are submitting to us, that it's better if they see an opportunity where we're saying we want to fund this story, shoot your shot, and see if you win this position, because that's happened plenty of times in the past. Let's see. All right. One person said there is no scam. They're here. I literally have stock and shares into Black Sands. Exactly. Exactly. People own a piece of my company. A lot of it, actually, like 15%. 15% of Black Sands is now owned by the fans, and it's going to get even tighter, right? It's going to get even tighter after this investment round. And I'm even granting shares to the BSP Comics investors, right? Because the last meeting that we had, well, actually 2 meetings ago, we had a meeting where we were talking about BSP Comics and the fact that I was closing that app, and I was letting Black Sands Entertainment buy out BSP Comics so that all my investors who normally would have faced bankruptcy, right? They just would have lost. All the investors would have lost. That's what everybody would have done, right? That's what Friedman would have done, right? They would have been like, oh, sorry, we ran out of money. Sorry, investors, right? And y'all would have been holding the bag, and I would have still been going just fine with Black Sands Entertainment. But I'm not like that. I feel like I have to fight. I have to protect my reputation at all costs, even if it hurts me directly. So I rescued the investors. I diluted myself in order to make sure that the BSP comic investors are still on the same awesome boat that everybody else in, Black Sands Entertainment. So that's going to happen within the next month or two. We're going to finish up the paperwork for that transfer, right? But there is no investor left behind. And the reason why I shut down the BSP Comics app is very simple. I couldn't scale it. I just wasn't that good at it, right? I wasn't that good at scaling an app. And I knew that even if I got more money, even if I like did all the bells and whistles to raise more millions of dollars, nothing would have changed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have still been making the same things, but I probably wouldn't have scaled it. And I'm really good at making comic books. I'm really good at selling product and mentoring other writers to get them to make awesome comic books like Mask of the Orisha, right? Like freaking Lion's Game, like Renata's Shadow. I'm good at that. I'm real good at that. So I was like, let's not distract ourselves anymore. If we ever have productions and other things like video games, we have to have an entire team that knows how to make video games, that's made a lot of video games. They're going to make it, not me, right? We got animations, they're going to make it, not me. And I'm going to focus exclusively on what I'm the best at, making comics and teaching other people how to make comics and managing comic book teams. Manage them all. I have so many teams I'm managing. And that's what I do. I'm really good at it. So that's what I'm focusing on. So 100%, we've always been very transparent. There's not that many founders that are going to tell you that they failed at something. They'll lie their asses off and keep pushing and keep trying to raise millions. But I told you that months ago. That BSP Comics just wasn't going to work. It was costing us a lot of money, and I didn't want to try to fake it till I make it, right? I was like, it's not working. That's what's up. Didn't work. Case closed. Let's move on, right? And that's the mature thing to do. I feel like there's not that many mature founders anymore. Everybody has to have smoke and mirrors and say they're the best at everything. They never fail. But that's not me. That's not how it works. I want to cut the bleeding early so that I can scale the entire corporation. And that means sometimes you kill things that just ain't working. Let's see. How can we track our current investments? There's not really a tracking of current investments, but whatever the stock price is today, or whatever the valuation is today versus when you invested, that's really the measure of how your stock is doing, right? So if you invested and it was a $10 million valuation, right? And now it's a $40 million valuation, and we closed the round, right? If it's a $40 million valuation and we struggle and can't even get halfway, then I overvaluated the company, right? People that weren't comfortable investing at that valuation, right? However, if we close the investment round in 2 weeks or even a month and a half, then it was a strong valuation. If it's 2 weeks, it's probably a way undervalued, company. But if it's like 6 weeks, then it was a pretty solid valuation. Actually, 3 months is very solid, right? And that means that it was a strong valuation. And since it's a strong valuation, your stock did go up by 4x. If you were at 10 million and now you're at 40 million, the value of what you own basically went up roughly 4x, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but that's the basic vibe of it, right? Where you were versus where you're at. but there is no way to actually like the bells and whistles of it, right? These are all private investment rounds. They're not like we're not on the stock market where the numbers change every day and there's like all these reports and everything else. That doesn't really happen. You know what I mean? Let's see. Can you invest $10? Unfortunately, no. This is the entire platform has a minimum of $100, right? Probably because there's a lot of legal work, right? Legal paperwork, legal documentation, filings with the SEC, all that stuff. So I'm probably sure that's exactly why there's a minimum of $100. But yeah, the minimum is 100. How many shares will 2,500 get you? We have to finalize the stock price. I think the stock price is like $6 though, right? So 2,500 divided by 6. I'm not sure if that's the right number. It might be lower, might be higher. I don't remember. Right. But basically, it's going to be like that. It's around $5 to $6, the stock price. It changes because the stock price for the first 500K is less. Right. There's a 10% discount there. So it's at a lower valuation because bonus. It's like, hey, you got in early, you're an early investor, you get bonus shares. So you're going to get a better price for the stock in the first 500K. Then after that, it goes to the regular standard rate. Okay. Oh, let's see. All right. So this is an interesting question. This is one of those complicated questions where I really don't know. Right. I don't know the answer to this one, but I'm going to try my hardest to make this happen. So I invested $2,000 in 2020, right? And I will invest 500 this time. That makes our total investment 2,500. Which tier would I be? If it's impossible for me to freaking track everything and make everything make sense, it still would be the silver tier since that's the highest investment you've made. However, if I can somehow combine the amounts or make it somewhat manageable to understand the total investment, then you'll be at gold tier. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember this. I'm not cherry picking this investment list. There's literally right? Going to be like 15,000 people on this investment list, right? So I will not be able to do too much like manipulation of this giant document. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. It's like it's going to be very hard to fix anything if there's like hard rules in like the document. All right? So we'll see though. We'll see. I'll try to make it happen. Let's see. Where can I get PNG images of the characters? Well, first you gotta get a license deal with us. Let's see. Oh yeah, conversion doesn't impact. This is a good question. The first part, I think I explained that already. We're gonna be converting you guys to BSE, right? And you're gonna get like roughly about $1 million in stock in Black Sands Entertainment, right? At the early bird rate. So that's usually what you're gonna get. All right. With that being said, the second part is interesting. So, how does that conversion impact the type of card I get? No impact. If you invested $2,500, you get the gold card. You invested 1,000, you get the silver card. It doesn't matter how much stock you own. It doesn't matter all that other stuff. That's behind the scenes. It's just the monetary number that affects what your tier is. Okay, so don't worry about that. If you invested 2,500 for BSP Comics, you still get the gold card regardless. Here's a creative question. What type of video game are you planning? JRPG. JRPG. We are going to make a JRPG very much like Octopath Traveler, but instead of pixel art, right? It's going to be very much like Octopath Traveler, but without pixel art, it's going to be actually anime art. So it's going to look like let's say Epic 7. It's going to look like Epic 7, but be very similar to Octopath Traveler, focus heavily on the story of the individual characters led by Raw. So Raw is the main character. He's younger. He's way more vicious. This is the time of the gods. You're going to see a lot of gods. You're going to see Noon. Noon is the main antagonist of the video game. This is literally a video game about the Sons of Nibiru. If you ever read Sons of Nibiru and you were like, man, I wish this series continued, this game's going to cover the entire series, period, from beginning to end. So you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Let's see. Mm, what does Wefunder take for payments? This is a good question. I'm not too sure if I know all of them, but let's say this. ACH, definitely. I don't know if debit, but definitely credit. Credit, definitely. Checks, definitely. Money orders, I don't know. I don't know about money orders. International wires, yes, because a lot of international investors will have to do international wires. Regular wires, right? You can also pay through your what's it called? Your Roths or whatever the heck investment funds you have, right? Your retirement funds, because a lot of investors do that. A lot of investors go, pay through like a fund that they have or a corporation they have. So all those versions of methods of pay are acceptable. All right. Let's see. Paul Pollard. If I invest 500 or 1,000, and what is the earning potential of each amount? Well, I can't tell you about the earning potential of future. I don't know where the heck we're going to be in the future, right? But I can tell you about the growth of certain people's investments back in 2020, right? So if you were an investor in the beginning of 2020, right, and you invested $1,000, let's keep it very simple. Simple number, right? $1,000. We were at a $5 million valuation at that time, right? $5 million. Since then, we are now roughly at a $40 million valuation, right? $40 million valuation. A lot of things have happened since then, uh, and that means that basically the company has grown by about 8 times what it was at the beginning of 2020, which is very, very true. I mean, we get $3 million in lifetime sales. It's crazy, but one thing that I will say is this: since you have 8 times growth, right, in the stock in the valuation, roughly the investment value grows by roughly 8 times, right, with a little bit dilution in there and everything else, but roughly 8 times the original investment. So people who had invested 1,000 would probably be listening at an 8,000, right? And people like Sabrina, right, who is one of our longest fans, one of our biggest supporters in the back in the day, she invested like $17,000. You understand? She invested $17,000. So her investment right now is sitting at like $128,000 in value. Just saying. She went all in though. She went all in. She was all in on Black Sands. So that's where hers is sitting at right now. Might be a little more, might be a little less. Right? When you got big numbers like that, the swing can be huge. 10,000, 10,000, something like that. But her numbers hit big. Her number is big. And it's only going to go up from here. If we keep growing, if we get the anime, by the time we get that anime out, we're going to be at like $100 million valuation minimum, because people are going to be doing licensing deals, all that stuff, the amount of massive exposure we're going to have. So when that anime drops, if we get an animation deal and we actually release it, we're going to be north of $100 million in valuation. And somebody who invested at 5 million, whew, somebody invested 5 million, they gonna be rich, baby. They gonna be rich. They gonna be having houses. They gonna buy houses with their money. So that's all I'm saying about that. Yeah. This is very accessible. All right. Now I could have changed the minimum number. I could have been like minimum's $500, right? But hell no, I'm not doing that. I want everybody who's an ally of Black Sands. I want them to hold a card. I want them to hold a Black Sands verified investor 2023. You see that right there? That 2023. I know it's not super HD on the screen, right? But 2023, I want you guys to be able to own one of these so that you can 100% identify yourself when any opportunities come, right? Because there's nothing they can do to stop us from being successful. There's nothing they can do to railroad our company's momentum. And because of that, and especially with the content that we make, I mean, we make some of the most wholesome content in the world, some of the most needed content in the world for Black kids, right? So, I think we're Teflon in here. I think we're super freaking strong. And because of that, we're gonna grow. We're gonna grow. We're gonna dominate. And we want everybody who made a decision today that they were on the team of Black Sands, right? To own one of these bad boys, so you'll never be forgotten. When job opportunities come, when publishing opportunities come, when voice acting opportunities come, when you just want some coaching, those things will happen because you're a card carrying member of the Black Sands family. That's the one thing we're going to be clouded. We're going to put that out there too. When y'all get these cards in your hands, the early investors, make sure that whenever you do a video, card carrying member of the Black Sands family, don't at me. Don't at me unless you want information on how to invest. You can't convince me of nothing because I've been watching for 6 years. I know what this man is. I know who this man is. This is the weirdest thing about all this. All these new people, they don't know me. People have been following me for like almost a decade. They know who Black Sands is and what Black Sands has done. That's why I think we have such strong ability to survive, right? We're survivors because we know that we know that this is nonsense. All of it's nonsense. All of it's political. So I love you guys, man. Let's see. Let's see. Can I ban this guy? Because he sounds very annoying. I see somebody's harassing the comment section. I just banned him. I don't know if they said anything. It's such a long list of comments. So sorry about that. Let's see. Will I get my card if I'm in Europe? Yep. Yep. If you're an investor, all you gotta do is just go to the website. You're gonna get the email regardless, and you just say, "Ship it to me." I don't think it's that expensive to get something like this shipped to you, right? We'll put it in a padded letter, right? A padded letter for the most part. But yeah, you should get it. That shouldn't be a problem. I don't think so. Yeah, you should be fine. I got a lot of investors from England, a lot of investors from Belgium and Norway and the Netherlands. I have a lot of Netherlands people, ridiculous amount of Netherlands people invest in Black Sands. Also, South Africa is always very considerate of us. They invest a lot, you know. And Brazilians invest. What's up, Brazil? So yeah, you'll definitely get it. How can we get on the email list? Just go to my Instagram, click the link in my bio, and sign up for the mailing list. All right, second option. Let's see. I'm a Patreon member already. Are there different amounts options in the upcoming investment round? You can invest as much as you want. So the minimum is 100, but there is no max. With that being said, if you invest over $5,000, they're going to scrutinize you. They're going to verify that you have over $5,000. And most people who are unaccredited won't be able to invest over $5,000 by law. They have laws in place to protect unaccredited investors. They don't want you gambling with investment. So they cap your entire year's investment to like $2,500 or $5,000. This is a reason why I said gold card is $2,500 instead of $5,000, because some people will legally not be allowed to invest more than $2,500 for the entire year. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I put that number in there. That way you maxed out. You maxed out, and that's fine. It's not a problem, right? They're just trying to protect unaccredited investors that don't have a net worth over $1 million. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to protect you. They don't want you guys just basically throwing all your money into every single idea that's out there, right? So that's how it works. And, so there you go. Let's see. Okay. Did you check the updates on Kickstarter? So we just recently did a Kickstarter poll where like over 300 people voted on when they wanted the books. We could have sipped the first 4 out of the 5 books in like 2.5 months, but people didn't want to have a broken up order and then have possible problems with shipping, right? The 5th book might come or they might move from their location by the time the 5th book's made, and then all hell breaks loose, right? So there was a poll on that. Please check Kickstarter, the campaign, and look at the last updates that we did. The overwhelming consensus of the Kickstarter backers was wait until the entire series is done, deliver all the items at the same time. And that's probably going to be like August. It just takes a while. It's like 17 chapters of Black Sands, and we got 3 more chapters to go. We're at the end of chapter 14 right now. So 15, 16, 17, and then 2.5 months after that, because the printing takes forever. printing and shipping. We'll have them. And then we're going to send them off after I sign them. Does 5,000 get you 2 cards? Nope, unfortunately. Oh, with that being said, though, if you just simply asked me, I'd probably let you do it. I'd probably let you do it. If you, especially if you're like, I got a spouse and we both want a card. I'd be like, all right, right. If you did 5,000, I'll let it ride. I'll let it ride. But you got to ask me because it wouldn't. The system wouldn't pick it up. The system wouldn't pick it up. So you just got to just straight up request it. Okay. So between Magic and Dream says, so we already have 1,000 in already. We only need to build up to the 2.5K to get the gold. And like I said, if I can track it easily, yes. If it becomes a nightmare to track these, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, right? I'll try to make a case by case basis, right? I'll try, but when you have 15,000 people on the list, you know what I mean? Trying to manage a email, a freaking Excel spreadsheet with 15,000 people and all their information in it. That's freaking hard. That's hard. So that's all I'm saying. LinkedIn is lit. Yes, it is. LinkedIn is lit. I love LinkedIn. Sometimes I go viral on LinkedIn. It's pretty cool. Everyone's so creative. Gold card is $2,500. $500 is the bronze card, the Epitomoc card. Okay. Can we invest abroad? Sure can, but not Canada. I think Canada has special rules against you guys. So Canada doesn't really like it. Me personally, I would check now. Go to wefunder.com and see if your country is eligible to invest on the platform. Okay? Go to wefunder.com, see if your country is eligible. They have clear rules for international investors. So go check. Let's see what I got. Will Wefunder ever consolidate BSC and BSP Comics? Still shows separate on my end. Yeah, that it didn't finish yet. So it hasn't been done yet. The paperwork hasn't been done yet to convert everybody over. So you wouldn't see it. And they also have to sign off on it. So they're going to sign off after all the paperwork's done. They're going to sign off and create and transfer the SVB over to BSE, right? And issue a certain amount of stock to the SVB. You know what I mean? So that might take a while, right? Don't expect any update anytime soon on that. But I've said it a million times publicly, so it's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen no matter what. All right. Let's question here. Hello, question. So I can invest low now and in the future invest more? No. There's no guarantee I'll have another investment round. And just to be clear on this, it was 2.5 years since I let people invest in Black Sands Entertainment. That was the last investment round, 2.5 years ago. Now, if you got 2.5 years to wait, right? If you can wait 3 years, right? Then yes, you can invest later as well. But whatever you're planning on investing now, make sure you get it in before the round closes, right? That's all I'm saying. Let's see. How many of you currently have on staff? I don't understand that question. I don't know how to answer that one. How many do you currently have on staff? I don't know. As far as people that work in Black Sands, it's probably dozens of people who work in Black Sands in general. But if you're talking about like the cards on hand, I overprinted. I make sure to overprinted, so I definitely have enough available for the people who are asking for them for sure. Let's see. You own shares and books and merch. I know it, man. I know it. How many parents are here right now? If you're a parent, if you got kids and you love the fact that these books make your kids happy, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to know if your kids or your grandkids, a lot of grandparents love us, or your grandparent or your grandkids love what the books are, and you've looked at the books yourself and know that the content is very appropriate for your kids. If you're that one person, if you're that kind of person, put it in the comment section. We love to hear from you, and get that going. Let's see here. Ronald Freeman said, I still like to write for you and create some characters. I'm raw, but nobody's ever given me a chance to prove it. You have to prove it. All right. And this is how you're going to do it. If you're a patron member, you simply apply for the competitions. So a lot of people might have missed the competition last time, but we had a novel competition where we're writing the story of the Kushite Empire before Petamok took reign. And in that competition, we had 5 different unique characters, and people were competing for these 5 different unique characters. 4 warlords who were men and 1 warlord who was a female, right? Now, unusually, to my surprise, but to great astonishment, right? 3 out of the 5 winners of the writing competition were women, which means that 2 of the male characters in the Black Sands universe are to be written by female writers. Now, that's pretty freaking cool, right? And even though I'm like, all right, I want this character to be a certain way. I want him to be a certain way they act, right? Or have a certain attitude. They wrote the character the best way. They did the best job making that character and following the story and hitting the key moments that I said had to be in the story. So they're going to take those characters and make them freaking amazing, right? And they did that 100% through competition. They just straight up beat everybody. They beat everybody. So you do have an opportunity always to prove yourself. Just win. Win. Beat everybody else in the competitions. I don't know anybody on the list who won. They just were patrons and they shot their shot and beat everybody else. Win. All right? You got this, man. I'm hearing something about then why not expand the brand beyond middle school? I don't know what this is referring to, but we're doing middle school, high school. We already do regular sales. We have regular sales. We might do Walmart, Target, all that stuff. But what I'm talking about right now, right? Then why not expand the brand beyond middle school, right? Middle school is literally the hot place for us. This is the perfect target demographic for books, all right? And if I can close deals for $37,000 in cities like Birmingham, imagine what I could do if we get enough infrastructure to close Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Philadelphia is probably a $500,000 to $1 million school district per semester for Black Sands. If we could pull it off, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about only exclusively middle school. That's not even curriculum. That's straight up books. So all I'm saying is that we're going to focus heavily on schools because if we do the work, if we make the connections, we're literally going to be able to print money every semester because people are going to want to get the next catalog, the next books, right? Hey, the students love it. What's the next books? Let's pre-order those. They're just going to order again. Once you're in the system, they're going to keep ordering. So all we got to do is build the infrastructure to get those accounts. And that's what we're going to be doing. Let's see. Let's see. Is Kevin Hart still a part of the team? No. I believe I said this like 2 or 3 meetings ago. That the deal on Shark Tank was no more. It didn't happen, and the reason why it didn't happen was very clear. That we couldn't have unaccredited investors in our company anymore. So, in other words, no investment rounds. Period. You could never invest in my company ever again. They're too famous. They're too famous. They feel like they can get sued, right? If anything goes wrong, they can get sued because they're going to go after the billionaire, not me, right? So they said 100%, you can't do unaccredited investors. We'll help you get regular investors. We'll help you get VC money, right? But you can't take money from unaccredited investors ever again. And I said, that's not what we agreed upon. So, nah, we can't do that. I got to keep my people on. I can't switch up. You know what I mean? Like I can't switch up now. I can't be like, you know what? I'm gonna give up my ability to raise capital myself. I'm gonna give up my ability to be independent, right? For greener pastures. Like that's not how it works. Because once I give up my power, once I give up my community, then they could tell me what I need to do with my stuff, and I can't argue with them. I can't tell them, no, I'm not gonna change things that way. What are you doing? What? What do you want? Yes. My son's asking questions. What's up? Please ask the question, please. I'm in a meeting.
Tomorrow, can you please, uh, like, give me.
I'm in a meeting. What do you want? So just get it out your mouth. What are you saying? All right, all right. Just ask me when I'm upstairs, okay? He said, my son's like, oh well, I'm like, please just ask me what you're asking. It's funny, man. Kids are so funny. Let's see here. All right. So one person said, I don't consider the BSP app a failure. It was more of a learning experience to know what to do in the future. Exactly. Right. At the end of the day, we still have a lot of money left over. Right. We didn't spend it all. We didn't waste $1 million. We still have a lot of money left over. So we were very careful about that. We said we don't want to do stupid stuff or keep trying and mess up and then basically bottom out the company. So it was a learning experience. We understand now what we need to focus on and what we don't need to focus on. Don't do things for clout, right? Don't do things for clout. Don't be like, I'm going to do this because it will be awesome. That's not how we're going to operate anymore. We're only doing things because we're really good at it. And if we're ever doing anything outside of that, it's because the team that's going to be building that is extremely good at it as well. So that's what we're going to be doing. I 100% agree with you. It's not necessarily a failure, but it is something that we've learned about a lot. We now know how to properly allocate our resources in the future, so we never have to worry about giant black holes in the future. Let's see. And we're running a little long, so I'm gonna do this for about 20 more minutes, right? But I'm almost starting to lose my voice. Let me get some water. That's for sure. Let me get some water real quick, man. Shoot. All right. Let's talk. Let's see. Let's keep going. Is Black Sands Discord still a thing? Hell yeah, they're talking right now. They're but the Discord's very much alive. I just invited a lot of people, and I'm gonna send it out to email soon. So before the investment round, when I give you all the preview, I'm also gonna send you guys the Discord link. All right. That way, all you guys can be a part of it. You can be a part of the company and everything else. You can talk. You can like talk in real time with other investors. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. Once you have a bronze or red card, is there a way to add towards a gold over future investments? If we have future investments and people have upgraded in the past, so if I've been able to track it and people upgraded in the past, then that will probably still apply in the future. You know what I mean? I think so. I think that will work. Assuming we have investment rounds. I don't know if we'll have more investment rounds. Maybe we'll have all we need to get into explosive growth. Because once you get into a Series A, a Series B round, that's it. There's no more private investment. There's no like you said unaccredited investors. These are like $10 million rounds. $10 million, $20 million rounds, and you can only use like VCs, angels, freaking corporations, right? A lot of corporations, and accredited investors. You're not gonna be able to raise that kind of capital with unaccredited investors. It's just not. It's just against the law, right? Once you get past 5 million, you can't do it anymore. So that's why I'm saying there might not be another investment round. If we've grown so much that we're doing rounds like Series A, Series B, this might have been the last investment round. So just being honest. I met you and your wife. I think I did go over the details. We will be investing on wefunder.com. By the way, I love the fact that I met you at the ALA. The American Library Association is pretty awesome. I like the American Library Association. So especially now, right? Educational sales. Gotta go. Gotta get it. So yeah, be a part of this investment round. Wefunder.com. We're gonna be giving out the link soon. If you haven't signed up for the email list, click the link in my Instagram account and sign up for the mailing list. You'll get the information. Uh I believe I just answered that as well. make sure to get on the email list. All right. Email list, no matter what, either on blacksands.com or click the link in my Instagram and sign up there. But do not rely on social media. All right. Social media is probably the most inaccurate platforms out there. They can shadow ban you at any time, right? They can just straight up suppress your reach. Don't rely on social media to get the news from Black Sands. Get on the mailing list. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a membership card. It's not a real it's not a credit card or nothing like that. It's straight up a metal membership card. That's all it is. But it's cool, right? It's just cool. For European investors, you will get cards, obviously. Opportunities is a little bit tricky. It really depends on what kind of opportunities. For instance, voice actors, sure, why not? We might need European accents, right? Or African accents. So voice acting, absolutely. Sales, right? Or editors, that might be a little more tricky, right? Most likely not, but you never know, right? So also, but just let you know, writers can come from other countries, right? I've definitely published for other writers from outside the United States. And Junior Beckley, he's French, right? He's French, so he's a Frenchman. He's out there right now, chilling, doing his thing, writing his Muntu Warriors, right? And he's part of the company as well, so it doesn't stop you from being a part of the company. Are you looking for a social media manager? You never know. I would apply. If I was you, I would apply, especially with what's going on right now. I will be taking a break from social media. I will be taking a break from social media after this investment round's done. It's going to be very generic social media memes and stuff like that. You're not going to see me much because I have a hit group after me, right? They're going to twist my words every chance they get, right? So I'm just going to try to avoid them for now until they get bored and find something else to be outraged about. And so I won't be on social media much. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking for social media managers in the near future, right? So be prepared for that. But for now, I got to fire up the base. So I'm going to be on social media a lot, kicking some face in, especially on Instagram. Instagram is my bread. If y'all not following me on Instagram, you got a problem because that's the only platform that I'm really all in on. Also, my YouTube community tab. For some reason, the YouTube community tab has great engagement. Like great engagement. I consistently get like 500, 600 likes, maybe a couple thousand likes, 5,000 likes, lots of comments from the YouTube community tab. It's weird. I don't even know where it goes. I don't even know where the YouTube community like posts go, but they do great engagement. It's better than Facebook. It's freaking crazy. It's crazy. Let me see. Any idea on whether the game is going to be free to play? No, it's going to be pay to play. So it's going to be like $30, I think. I'm not sure. But it's a straight up pay to play experience. You get the whole game straight up. It's JRPG. Have we started investing yet? Nope. Next week. Next week. I guess you just got here, Darren. But I believe you were an investor in our previous rounds, weren't you? Right? So yeah, next week. Next week. I didn't make the characters up. So I have an artist, David Lenneman. He's been my partner in this for a long time. He's been doing the Black Sands art since 2016, maybe even close to 2015, right? When we were making visual novels and stuff, trying to make Black Sands something for real. So he's been with me for a long time. He's the artist behind everything. He's a Frenchman. He's really freaking good at everything. Like he does, those Assassin's Creed statues you see, like Assassin's Creed statues, Ubisoft statues, right? Those statuettes that are like really high detail, the figurines. That's all him. He makes those designs. He creates those models, those super freaking detailed models that cost like 200, 300, $500. You know what I'm saying? And that's his job. That's what he does on the daytime. And then at nighttime, he's making black sands. You know what I mean? What about screenshots for the amount of investment? I don't know what that is, but we have all the documentation for all the past investments. We have all of it. We have all the records for every investor that we've ever had. So you don't have to give me a screenshot to prove you had invested. You're already on the list. As long as your email is accurate, you will get an email. If it's not accurate, right? Or if you feel like you haven't got it after we told everyone. So I'm going to tell everybody, I'll be like, hey, I just sent out the emails, right? And if you don't get the email within 24 hours, you might not have that email anymore or something like that. And then you just update me and say, hey, I didn't get the email. You said you sent it out, but I missed it. I didn't get it. Then we'll go and look for your name. We'll update the email and we'll go from there. Okay? Sound good. What are the different levels of investment each card represents? So red is $100 or more. So red is the first tier, the lowest tier. Red is $100 or more, and it will have new wheat, right? Because the next question is like, who's also the character? So red, new wheat, that is the red card. Bronze, Petamok. So bronze is a Petamok. That's $500. $1,000 is silver, and that's MSME. And then 2,500 is gold and raw. All right. So there we go. That's the tiers. That's how it works. And if you haven't seen it, yes, it's like this. The metal card. Okay. I see you guys too. There you go. Metal card. Boom. Okay. Let's see. All the cards are metal, and they're heavy too. They're pretty heavy. They're pretty heavy. So I wanted it that way too because I wanted them to be durable. I didn't want nobody to get like be able to scratch them or bend them or something like that, right? It needs to be durable as heck. So that I wanted them to be super heavy and super industrial. So that's what they are. You know, they're all metal. Every last one is metal. Hey, good evening from Texas. What up, bro? Grandchildren of 6 or 7 years old. I like that, man. They probably rocking that Cosmic Girls, Maury's Family Adventures. Heck, grown people into these comics. I know. I made it that way. So here's the beauty of what I did with Black Sands. I made it age appropriate enough where middle school students, high school students can read the books and not be, it won't age them out, right? There's nothing in there that stops them from reading it. What they see, they relate to the characters like Asar, Seth, Nabet, Osset. They relate to them because they act like kids. They really do act like kids, and they do all the things that a normal kid would do. However, because of the politics of the world, because these nations have their own political agendas and they're all like kind of going soft wars against each other or straight up all out war, adults are reading this and saying, this is a dope, interesting, ridiculously lore heavy story. I didn't know it was this deep. While the kids like Soul Enforcement Mountain Strike, right? The kids reading it for a completely different reason than the parent, but they're both loving the story for very different reasons, right? And that's the balance of why Black Sands has done 200,000 copies sold, because there's a great balance between a heck of a good story and lovable young characters that kids can relate to. That's Black Sands. And that's why we don't publish a lot of titles, because they have to hit those like basically benchmarks, right? So like Mask of the Orisha, one of our best titles, it hits those benchmarks. Young characters that people can relate to. They act like normal people, but then there's this huge system in place and government system in place in the Orisha world. They just have it. It's like there's levels to it. So even the adults are like, this is a dope series, but there ain't no middle school students who can't read the content because of the maturity, period. All right. Xavier said, I am proud to have given full sets of the books to multiple family and friends. I've seen this a million times. Somebody on my website will have like 6 or 7 orders, all different addresses. I'll be like, that's what I'm talking about, because the content is wholesome, man. There's nothing bad about the content. It's crazy when people go out there and make a big stink about how bad and how masculine and how whatever, right, Black Sands is. It's so bad. Such a bad energy. It's not what you think it is. And it's like, as a parent, this appalls you to think that someone would look at the series of Black Sands about a prince who literally has to be responsible for more people than anybody else. This ain't no story about some little kid doing pranks. This kid got to grow up quick, and he's a kid, so he's going to make childish mistakes, but he has to really live with the consequences. And you see him struggling. You see him going through the ebbs of like, should I have done that or not? I'm going to reflect on this, but I can't act like I don't know what I'm doing in the middle of a war. Even though it might not have been the right call, internally, I'm thinking about it. Internally, I might be regretting it, but I have to act like Pharaoh. I have to be 100% committed to my decision. That's a crazy story. That's a story that's crazy about personal responsibility being so high, the pressure of being a success, being someone who can live up to a legacy is so high with Asar, and you're growing with him and you're seeing him do what he does, and you're just like, this kid is freaking amazing. At first, you're thinking he's just a spoiled little brat causing trouble, but the further you go into the story, you say Asar is that dude. That's a king. You see everybody looking up to him when the war begins. Everybody's looking at Asar. What do we do next? And you remember, this is what Ra was preparing him for, because nobody likes a warrior until it's time to do warrior stuff. And people love it, man. It's great. You know, it's a character for everybody. Osset, the innocent child. All right. Nabet, the one who could find value in everybody. Nabet could find value in everybody. That's why she has so many friends in different categories of society. She has merchant friends. She has some underhanded friends. She has political friends. She has people in other countries that she's just very good at building relationships. And she sees value in everyone. So she's very good at making those connections where other people cannot make those connections. Right. And then Seth is hardcore political savvy. So he understands how the nations work. He understands that Manoa is a society that's a matriarchy. And since it's a matriarchy, they are female led. They have certain customs as well. Like they trade, they barter. So if they give you something, they have to basically even the scales before they ever do business with you again. So if you overpay them, they'll feel like they owe you forever. And that's something that's very different in Egypt, where a pharaoh gives you a gold coin for your deed. It's way more than what that was worth, but you accept it, and you never like that's it. You don't be like, I have to do so much more to earn this gold, because in Egypt it's not that serious. In Manoa, it's extremely serious. So Seth knows about all these cultural norms, and he's constantly working on that. He also has a love-hate relationship with people, because regular people hate him in society because of his skin, and they think he's cursed. But the military loves him because the military commanders, like his son was saved by Seth when he was a young kid. And now he's like been telling all the military commanders, don't disrespect this kid. He's not cursed. He's a smart kid. He's very loyal to his people. Do not disrespect this kid. So he's loved by the military and kind of hated by his own freaking citizens. These are complicated stories. Black Sands is not a simple story, and when people say it's a bunch of Hotep nonsense, you know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. All right, so let me go. I'm gonna answer like one more question, and then I'm gonna call tonight. We did a hell of a good job. Remember, if you want to be in the investment round early, if you want to be one of the first investors in and get that early bird special, you want to go to patreon.com/blacksands. Click the link in my bio on Instagram. Go to the first option. That's also patron, right? And join the group because that's the people going in first. Patrons and our previous investors. First investors in, period. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here's a good question. It's kind of a different question, so I wanted to pull it. Wow, thank you for keeping control of the brand by dropping the certified investors. Can you license portions? All right, we will be doing a lot of licensing in the future, mostly for video games. I kind of want to make Black Sands and other properties under Black Sands to be a massive licensing juggernaut in video games. And I wouldn't turn down that Chinese money either. So if Tencent wants to knock on the door, hi Tencent, yeah, come on, fund the video games. I don't care. I want to make sure that we can basically carpet bomb the industry with amazing Black Sands titles and Master the Orisha titles and Lions game titles, right? I want those games to be coming out. So video games is probably where I'm going to focus the most on when it comes to licensing, right? And then also if I can get lucky and get like Walmart, Target deals, great, right? But that's more of a only happens if I have a show type thing, right? Like if I have a show, if I sell a show, 100%, you probably get a deal with Walmart, Target, whatever, because the show's coming out and it's going to get like 60 million views, 100 million views, right? But, you know, guaranteed licensing, video games. So long as we make the first game really dope. So that's what we're focusing on. All right, so we're done here. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. Remember, if you want to be one of the early stage investors and you haven't signed up for Patreon yet, go to patreon.com/blacksands. You will get the invite before everyone else, and the previous investors will also get that invite as well directly on Wefunder. For everyone else, wait a couple of days. We'll give you some updates. We'll keep you informed on how much we raised every single day. And, people on the mailing list, the special mailing list where you gave us your phone number too, you might get a secret link to invest early as well, since you gave us your phone number. So we appreciate you guys for doing that. We appreciate you guys for being a part of this movement. And remember, nobody can stop Black Sands because Black Sands was a company made exclusively for the Black community, the parents and their kids. That's what we do. It's just a morally good movement that we built. And we're not going to stop regardless of what people think they could pressure us to do. We're going to continue to make amazing family content. We're going to continue to make amazing positive content about our history. We're not going to focus on slavery and civil rights like everybody else wants us to do. We're not going to do it. Sorry. And we're not going to apologize for ancient heroes for being masculine, because that's kind of what you had to do in the ancient world. You had to be a man, right? So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Make sure your kids know that I said hi. What's up, kids? What's good? Right? Hopefully, I'll be doing a signing at your school one day, and you guys can go and meet me. It's just a great movement. Appreciate you all, especially the grandparents out there who really do the work. I think the grandparents do the most work, man. And I didn't even know I had grandparents like that following me. People think that my base is comic book fans, and it's not. It's regular people, regular Black people. It's not comic book fans. It's not diehard collectors. It's regular comic book. It's just regular people who want great books for their kids. I just happen to make comics, but it's the message behind the comics that people are really buying. So with that, I'm out. Go ahead and get you one of these. What's that? A Black Sands investor card. I'll at your boy. Peace.